everybody. As Steve said, I'm the town clerk and chief exec. We're a reasonably large town council, but in the position I am in, I'm quite hands-on with using decisions for agenda compilation, working alongside the council secretary at Trowbridge, who is the main person who's responsible for our agendas and minutes. Just picking up on what Steve said there in terms of time saving, since we took on decisions, the council secretary, who was full-time before we took on, has taken on some additional responsibilities because it's freed up some of her time to do those, whereas before she was just full-time on agendas and minutes. She now looks after the mayor's diary and grants administration as well to fill that time that was being freed up by the advantages that decisions has given us. One of the big advantages, it sort of can be used by the whole team. So the managers who are reporting to our committees are able to, sort of use the system to put their own information directly onto the agenda as and when information arises. It doesn't have to be sort of sent as an email to somebody else and saved somewhere else and sent, via other people. So it's very, as it were, user friendly for everybody who's involved in those meetings. We have 21 councillors who are using decisions, and a lot of them will go into the system on their pads when they're in the meeting. And we also do some hybrid work using the system as well. So for some of our informal meetings, then councillors will join us online and be able to follow everything on the agenda using decisions. But no, it's been a real good move for us. And as Steve says, it was just about 2 years ago this month, I think, that we started using it. And we've made lots of progress with the system in that time. I've not been a user of other similar software, but I have been, I regularly am somebody who sort of attends Wiltshire Council meetings and watches those meetings and follows the agendas. And there's one or two things, particularly around the attachments to agendas, which I think I find decisions is easier to use than what I'm sort of seeing as it were, member of the public attending Wiltshire Council meetings, or viewing their meetings or looking at their agendas. So as I say, although I've not been a user of other software, whereas other software that Wiltshire Council use, I do sort of identify some ease with which decisions makes it user-friendly for members of the public accessing agendas, councillors accessing agendas, and officers building those agendas.
Lance, thank you very much. And I feel your experience of the package, and as you say, Trowbridge is a large town council. It is typical amongst the larger town councils. Officers' time, there's a lot of pressure on them, especially with the growing number of committees, task to finish or working groups that exist. And packages like this, as you've explained, they do bring some real-time savings to a lot of manual processes that are typical across a lot of the council operations. There is a lot of manual work involved in a lot of the day-to-day activities, and smart packages like this do bring genuine savings.
Yeah, definitely. Production of minutes is probably something where we've had significant savings in time used by officers. And it's also the speed at which those minutes can then get published and circulated to councillors for to be signed off.
Yeah. So real benefit. So thank you, Lance.